Anne-Marie?
Anne-Marie DeVos from tourism sector in the Fiji Chamber of Commerce. There's quite a few questions coming for finance, so we've condensed that. And I'd just like to put to you that it's a wonderful budget, that's all come in now, but we really need to address a new equation for finance for businesses. And in the current market, tourism plus business loans isn't equaling anything nice at the moment, and there's nothing foreseeable in the future. So we suggest, we'd like to ask, but we don't want to know why not, but how can we make a new equation where businesses can now convert their business loans to 25 to 30 years, as they do in other countries. How can we make that happen? Not why can't we, how can we? And the other thing is, the second thing that's been popping up is with the incentives for first home buyers and things, will the banks be looking at doing any further incentives to add to this? Will you be offering $3,000 or $5,000 towards their costings for legal or any of the other costs that they need to obtain that loan at the bank? You've done it in the past, they're doing it overseas. Is this a feasible option as well?
Thank you very much for that question. Coming first to the funding in the tourism sector, I know that in the last 3-4 weeks, 2 banks have lent $32 million direct to 2 resorts to continue supporting the funding requirements. So I can only speak for BSP. We have not stopped lending in this sector, recognizing that we'll need to take long-term view of all the assets we have on board, all the customers, and on the premise that we have got a short-term hiccup. So definitely we're taking long-term views, and we are one of them that has funded a resort for $12 million just for working capital support. Now, the second question is around what the banks can do for the customers. So our current priority is around supporting the existing customers who have lost employment, the cash flows are no longer there for business customers, and take them through this period till 31st of December. Like Honorable Minister has said, that the only known for us at the moment is the unknown, and we are focusing on that. At the same time, we have seen a lot of bad debts emerging, so our focus is on managing our level of bad debts and work with these customers, because nobody will win in any recovery action. So it's important for us to do that. And the banks have very competitive rates at the moment on home loans. We have fixed rate lending for the 12 months, and all the banks are happy to roll that over. We have waived our rollover fee. We don't charge the $300 if somebody wants to come and still commit for another 12 months of fixed lending. Honestly speaking, we haven't considered anything around any contribution from the bank to the customers, and there's something we'll continue to look at, and as things evolve in the next couple of months, we definitely will review those requirements.
Sorry, I think I'd like to get Shiri in this point in time. Shiri has been working behind the scenes as head of fiscal planning. How he's been working with the banks, in particular with how government finances, where they've been placed, and vis-a-vis some of the comments, the comments that the governor made regarding our borrowing and how we've shifted, loans from high interest paying loans to low interest paying loans, and the impact that we have had in respect of our collaboration with FNPF, which obviously has a very large level of cash within the system. Maybe Shiri can explain the dynamics there.
Thank you very much, AG. If you have seen the last budget and the latest budget that has come out, large funding for deficit financing and also for refinancing is sourced from external sources. As AG reiterated and also mentioned by Governor, at least $600 million in this budget would be sourced from external sources. And most of these loans are from very reputable partners like Asian Development Bank, the World Bank, IIIB, and JICA. And most of these loans, if you'll see, are very, very concessional in nature. For example, the World Bank funding that government has got comes at a 40-year term with a 10-year grace period and 0 interest cost. Similarly, the funding from JICA is also 40-year term, 10-year grace period, it's 0 interest rate. So overall, what we are seeing in terms of our cost of debt has been coming down over the years. And once government is going to draw down this external funding in the next couple of months, once the financial year starts, we're going to add to the already high liquidity in the system, and at least in terms of government borrowings, our borrowing cost has been coming down. For example, the 20-year debt that we are borrowing in the market was about 1 year ago at 7.25%. Now it has come down to 6.4%. Similarly, in terms of our short-term borrowing from the banks using treasury bills, 12 months bills were coming at around 4.25%. Now it's coming close to 3%. So overall, once we'll draw down onto these external loans, we'll already add to the high liquidity, as Governor mentioned, and we are foreseeing liquidity to go up above $1 billion. And as cost for government debt has been coming down, and as Mr. Ali mentioned, once the credit risks come down, we foresee that interest rates will come down in the market. But I think apart from government, in terms for the private sector, at the moment, this element of credit risk is keeping interest rates high. But for government, we have definitely seen our cost of borrowing coming down.
Yeah.
And in terms of the large refinancing this year, as Governor also alluded, one of the reasons is the refinancing of the global bond. So in 2006, government had taken US $150 million for the budget financing, which has been refinanced over the years, and it's coming due in October 2020. So one of the reasons the financing for this year is relatively higher than what we have seen in the last 4 or 5 years is due to this maturing of the global bond, which is close to Fijian $450 million. And I think the comfort we have in that is the refinancing for that has already been arranged. So with the policy-based loan that we have accessed from ADB and World Bank, again at very cheap concessional long-term maturity terms, is all sorted out. The ADB board has approved that. So there's no issues in terms of refinancing this large global bond that's falling due in couple of months. So that was one of the reasons why debt servicing has been high. In terms of the cost of debt, as I've mentioned earlier, cost has been coming down, and also with a lot of actions through the Reserve Bank of Fiji, through their quantitative easing measures, how they have been injecting liquidity in the system through some of their facilities and some other measures, we expect cost to come down further.